So, I'm sure everyone watching this video has been into a Halo game at some point, and there's been a player who's been like, you should play like this. This is exactly what you should do. Exactly 3 seconds into a fight, you should always jump and do this. And of course, there's always things that mathematically improve your chance of winning fights, mathematically improve different chances. But there's some things that just have no math behind them, and they're just kind of opinionated. And they aren't necessarily the true things, but that somehow became the standard. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today, about breaking the standard. Now, I'm Perplexality, and Chubby Snail here has given me the very unique opportunity to upload on his YouTube channel. I have this Unfrigginbelievable that I got while playing with some subscribers, and I know this is a great chance for me to do some tip video and kind of get people to go to my channel, but I think this is a better chance to kind of talk to the great audience that Chubby Snail has, because I mean, I have about 1/3 of the audience is Chubby, so I don't really get to affect that many people with my uploads, not nearly as many as he does. So I think it's very important. It's going to be really great for me to kind of get to talk to people about what it means to not follow the standard, what it means to kind of break the mold, because you see these people all the time, like you see people that want to get good at Halo, and they go talk to maybe some guy who's gone to MLG, and they're like, okay, what button layout do you use? And the guy will be like, I use bumper jumper. So they automatically change their button layout to bumper jumper, and they're like, what sensitivity do you use? And he'll be like, I play on 4. So they automatically change their sensitivity to 4. And you find that this happens at a very staggering rate of trying to copy and emulate this person exactly, and slowly figuring out that it's impossible to emulate someone. That these people are pretty much just copying someone word for word, and they're always going to try and be exactly like that person. But the reason that this button layout works, the reason that this sensitivity works, is because that's how that person feels is better. I play on 7. I know plenty of good people who play on 3 and 2 who always tell me to go down, but I always have very great accuracy at 7, so I've always stuck with it. And they keep telling me these different things about what is right and wrong, and I keep not understanding why what works for me has to work for everyone else as well. Because I know that pro gamers, there's some pro gamer that decided that he wants to play on 4, and that's perfectly alright for him to decide that he wants to play on 4. But just because he plays on 4, some other gamers might play it at 10, some people might play at 5, some people may play at 2. It's completely an opinion up to every individual person on what they want to play at, what settings they want to use, what strategies they want to run. And the reason it works is because every person is different. No matter how much you want to admit it, no matter how much you try copying this person's strategy and look exactly down to the T, you're never going to be the exact same person they are. You're always going to have some kind of fundamental difference between each other, and you're going to always be slightly different people, and so different things will work for you. A lot of people, like, I love sniping, so when I started playing Halo, I didn't look at pro gamers. I didn't look at what pro gamers did and being like, okay, I'm going to do exactly what this guy does and get better. I looked at sniper rifles, and I read The Art of War, read some strategy, I learned what worked the best with sniper rifles by trial and error, and I created my own strategy, and I'd say it's worked out 1,000,000 times better than I could have ever hoped it, that I could have ever really imagined it to, because, like, as you can see right here, I'm getting Unfrigginbelievables, which, when I just started playing Halo, was unfathomable to get a 40 kill spree in any kind of game type, no matter what. Maybe Flood or something, if you gotta get in the corner and back up. So I went from kind of being this kind of generic person to creating my own style, because there's always people who create the standard that other people try copying, the standard that other people try living by and becoming. And there can only ever be one of those for some reason, because everyone else tries copying you. But I want to emphasize that in society, you're constantly flooded with images of other people, of other people's thoughts, especially with social media, Twitter, Facebook, all these different things, Vines. You're constantly flooded with other people's ideas, other people's belief systems, and they're always just very persistently being shoved onto you. And it's okay to accept a certain idea or belief system or ideology that comes along with it, but I think that it's important for you to kind of accept certain ways that things happen because they work for you, because you are an individual, and you being an individual kind of makes a world of difference whereas who gets to do what. You know, a lot of people see like parties, and they're always like, if they're a Republican, they're like, darn Democrats, and if they're a Democrat, they're like, darn Republicans. But I think there's a certain beauty that comes to having two different parties, because then you're always getting a counterpoint, a counter idea to everything you're looking at. So, because there's no one certain idea that's always set in stone that's going to work. No matter what, in a 1v1, someone could be like, you know, most of the time it works best to go up top, so they go up top, and then they go up top and it doesn't work. And they can't understand why. It's like, maybe you should have just gone bottom because it's different. There's never one formula for exactly how everything should be carried out all the time. You're always going to find variables that are unpredictable, uncontrollable, and lead to many different outcomes. So I think it's very important for people to kind of learn to play it their own way and create their own specific reasoning behind it, and then everything else will just fall into place eventually, whether it comes down to practice or strategy, and things like that. Which, I mean, I always tell people whenever I give videos, is like, I want to give you the information, I want to give you how I do it, I want to give you basic strategies and stuff like that, and currently what I think people should do. And I can give you a bunch of things that are guaranteed to improve it just by mathematics. You know, like this is how it's going to work. But then there are certain things where it's like, it's your choice now. You have to make a decision. And I'll just give it open to them, and they have to create their own way of doing things, which I think works a lot better for you to kind of create your own guide to the game, create your own way of how you should be. Which, a lot of it just comes with age, getting that mental maturity enough to function and process how you think you should be doing things. But all of it just comes down to working with yourself and getting comfortable with yourself. Because if you're never comfortable with yourself as an individual person, as a person whose ideas can be accepted, and you always think that your ideas specifically aren't good enough, then they never will be. You have to get very comfortable with knowing yourself. Sun Tzu said, if you know yourself and you know the enemy, you need not fear the outcome of 1,000 battles. Meaning that if you understand how you function, and you understand how you know the world around you works, then you have no fear for failure, because you can't fail, because it's just guaranteed to work out. So, and of course, there's no certain guarantees in the world per se, but I think it's very important to understand that everything you do needs to be based on yourself. Change things to yourself. Don't fall into the standard of social media of believing like everyone else. Because, I mean, I know I have a friend whose brother started watching PewDiePie, and all the time he started copying PewDiePie's voice, which was very irritating, I'm sure, as you can imagine. Because people are constantly flooded with the information, and they think, because this person's so well liked, I have to be exactly like him. But PewDiePie, it only works for PewDiePie because PewDiePie is PewDiePie. Which, try saying that 7 times fast. It only works for him because that's just because it is him. And it works specifically for him and not other people. So I think it's very important for you guys to create your own standard of living. Not only in Halo, but in the world in general. Create your own individuality and seek out a way that works best for you. And I think if you can do that, then, you know, the world is your oyster. I like to hope you guys keep that in mind. Thank you for having me, Chubby, and hope you guys enjoyed the commentary. Thank you guys for watching. Of course, you can check out my YouTube channel. And we're out of time, but again, have a great day. I'll talk to you later.